I know that we have all been there. Ask anyone, and if they are honest, they will know what it means to wake up in the middle of the night. When it is 3 a.m. and your mind won't get quiet down, worrying excessively about tomorrow and the future. Or perhaps you're about to walk into an important meeting and suddenly your heart is pounding, your palms are sweating, and your breath feels tight. Maybe you find yourself stuttering when you usually speak clearly, or feeling so restless you can sit still. Perhaps you're trying to focus on work, but your mind keeps jumping from worry to worry, unable to concentrate. These are unmistakable signs of anxiety. It shows up in your body, your breath, your voice, your ability to think clearly. Here is what I discovered when I looked for anxiety in the dictionaries. It's not random. It has deep roots to go back centuries, and it reveals something profound about how we relate to life. But there is the beautiful part. When we truly see it for what it is, we can finally find real freedom. Let's dig a little bit into history. The word anxiety first showed up in English back in 1520s. People used to describe that restless dread, uneasiness of mind when you are afraid of something bad might happen. Go even deeper and you will find the root angere, meaning to choke, to squeeze, to torment. People were facing uncertainty on a scale they never experienced before. By 1620s, Europe was caught up in wars, plagues, upheaval. These experiences gave people a reason to use the word, to name what they were feeling. The original root is from Latin, anxietatem, which meant anguish, trouble of mind. So, from the beginning, people understood anxiety as something literally squeezes the life out of you. It shows up as heart palpitations when nothing is wrong, sweating palms before simple conversations, breath that becomes shallow and tight, words that stumble when you try to speak. A restless energy that won't let you to be still. And that endless loop of worrying thoughts that makes it impossible to focus on what's right in front of you. The body and mind both feel squeezed. Now let's look at what some of the world's oldest wisdom traditions have discovered about anxiety. In the East, in Buddhism, anxiety is seen as part of dukkha, the suffering that comes from wanting life to be different from what it is. We cling to what we want and push away what we don't want. We try to hold on to moments that are meant to pass, and anxiety becomes our shadow. But here is the insight. When we learn to see impermanent nature of everything, even our thoughts, feelings, our circumstances, something shifts in our minds. We can watch anxiety arise and pass away, like waves moving through the ocean. When we look at other spiritual traditions, they point to ego as the source. The ego wants to control everything, our image, our possessions, our future. But life has its own rhythm, its own intelligence. When we try to force it into our small plans, we create friction. And that friction is the anxiety. And what is the path to freedom then? Learning to dance with life instead of wrestling it. We're going to come to how we do it. The law of attraction, on the other hand, offers a different angle. In this view, anxiety is like tuning into the wrong radio station. When we focus on our fears, we attract more of what we are afraid of. When the worry dominates our thinking, life seems to respond with more reasons to worry. The solution is beautifully simple. Redirect the same amount of energy toward what you want to experience. Gratitude instead of worry, calm instead of chaos, hope instead of fear. It's not about denying reality, it's about choosing where to put your attention. Anxiety is what happens when we live in psychological time, constantly projecting into the future or replaying the past. Think about it. Right now, in this very moment, are you actually in danger? Usually the answer is no. The present moment, the now, almost always manageable. It's our stories about the present that create suffering. Your mind might say, but what about tomorrow's presentation? Or what if that relation doesn't work out? But those are stories, not reality. You haven't experienced them yet. And presence Coming back to this moment dissolves the story. You can observe that anxiety is manufactured by thought itself. Thought asks, what will happen to me? What if I'm not good enough? What if I lose what I have? Suddenly your body is responding to something that exists only in your imagination. But here is the real breakthrough. We need to see anxiety in its totality. Not just surface feeling, but the whole movement of it. How it ripples through your relationships, how it narrows our choices, how it drains our energy and clouds our clarity. When you see the full cost of anxiety, not just to you, but to everyone around you, something remarkable happens. That very seeing becomes the beginning of transformation. You don't have to fight it, you don't have to fix it. Understanding itself brings the freedom. So how does it work in our day-to-day life? When you're standing in a line and notice that your heart is starting to race for no reason, take a conscious breath. When your palms are getting sweaty before a difficult conversation, pause and simply observe what's happening in your body. When you feel the restless energy making you fidget and pace, just notice it. When you catch yourself unable to focus because your very thoughts keep interrupting, gently acknowledge them. When your breathing becomes shallow, tight, consciously slow it down. When words start to stumble because anxiety is affecting your speech, take a moment to center yourself. The key isn't to fight these physical and mental symptoms. It is to meet them with awareness. Gentleness works much better than force. Let's try something together. Find a comfortable position and close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in and out. Repeat these words, either out loud or silently. I am here. I am safe in this moment. Like a river, my thoughts flow and pass. I don't need to hold on to them. I release my need to control what hasn't happened yet. Peace is who I really am. I am grateful for this breath, this body, this life unfolding before me. Now just rest here for a moment. Feel the stillness that's always present underneath. Place your hand on your heart and gently say, in this moment, I am free. Here is what I want you to remember. The more clearly you see anxiety for what it is, the less power it has over your life. And as you find this freedom, you naturally become a source of peace for others too. This is a way of living with attention, not a destination. Be patient with yourself. Every moment of awareness matters. If you find this useful, if you learned something new, please like, and also I'd like to know what you learned in the comments. Please share this with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe if you want to explore for more ways to live with presence and freedom. You're already whole, remember that, and until next time, keep walking toward your freedom, one breath at a time.